Hi everyone, it's Natalie. So this is the second piece in the Mapping the Mandala series that I was starting with in the last video. And this piece is very precariously in position here. This is like the second or third go at this video I've tried because it keeps falling down. So we're going to hope for the best. So this particular contemplation, I mean, again, we're working with pieces of fabric that have been, dyed and colored with rust and avocado skins and tea, sumi ink. That's another tea bag there. This pink that you see here, that is also avocado skins and pits. I think it was a piece of a curtain that my partner had that was old, and I thought, wow, that vintage fabric is really good for taking up dye, so I used it for that. This one here is also avocado skins and pits and rust, and it's the rust that gives it the darker color. So we're looking at two different ways that avocado skins and pits can give color. And then the brown, of course, is just tea. And the black is probably just black thread, where you find black in here. Yeah, and it had some interesting little patterns and things in it. And all of the thread, generally speaking, is coming from again, working with doing eco dyeing and eco printing. And this one really felt more like a map to me. I was really attempting more of an actual map. And this one was much more about contemplating mandala, as you can see here, as self, but more like, what do you do when you're inside self? When you're meditating or alone, really. And in that space, I find that my awareness tends to expand and travel and go out. And I find things and I discover things and really lose any sense of self that was really there. And this piece was a lot about just finding that and expressing that and being with that experience. When I close my eyes and sit down on my cushion, frequently, I may start out caught up in my thoughts. I may start out here in a space that's very small, perambulating a very small sense of self that's being experienced. And very quickly, it begins to expand outward and it begins to explore. And I've never left the cushion, in theory. And yet there's all of these amazing places to go, and things to explore. Worlds and landscapes and existences that are, in some cases, want to escape the confines of, the box of reality that we live in. Tiny little gatherings, fields, towns, villages, things, concepts, ways of being, ways of connecting that really are not part of our usual way of understanding the world or of understanding ourselves in the world, or really of really not even bearing any sense of reality to the known world itself, in truth. Yeah, I guess I have a very vivid inner life. Anyway, that was where this one came from. So, we have the sense of what happens with space, both inner space and outer space, when, when the self is focused upon intently enough, everything else around it opens up. So whether you take, the route of attending to others in the hopes of somehow healing the self, which is usually an unconscious process, or whether you start with self and hope to be able to reach outward, they both kind of end up in similar ways, helping you see the world in a different way, and seeing interconnectedness and connections to things that you might not have seen, but they're different. They're different perceptions, different levels of perception. So yeah. Okay, we made it this long without it falling down, so I'm going to quit pushing and stop here. So thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Bye-bye.